minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. On Friday, I met a man named John Townsend. He's in the studio right now, and he told us this amazing story that is a roller coaster of emotions. And I'll let him tell you the story. But in short, he lost his son and his wife, and ended up having to make the decision to donate their organs so that other people could live. John is in the studio to talk about that. There's also a golf tournament that's coming up, the first annual Nick Orlick Golf Classic. We'll learn who Nick Orlick is. And Kristine Neal is in the studio. Kristine is with TransLife, which is an organ and tissue donation service. And Yvette Moreno is in the studio. Yvette, I can't remember what your title is. Do I have it somewhere?
Oh, no, she's the recipient of his son's liver.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So who did I leave out?
No, it's you.
Just you and Robin.
Okay. So Yvette, who's Yvette again? You're Yvette. Okay, so you have the organs.
Yes.
Wow, that's an amazing story. John, you're an amazing man, actually. I know you want to be called Townsend from this point forward, but anyway, so good morning to all of you. Okay, so I got it. Okay, Kristine, Yvette, and John Townsend. From this point forward, I'll call you Townsend. Good morning, Townsend. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry.
You like being called by your last name, huh?
Thank you. Well, I've got a lot of friends named John, so we all go by our last name.
Oh,
That's
I see.
where it comes from.
I see. Well, how are you?
I'm doing great this morning. I appreciate the time.
The hardest part of the story is the story of the accident that got you to this point.
Yeah, it was April 10th, 2013, down in Orlando. In the evening time, about 6:45. As I was leaving an area I was welding at, just about 3 blocks away, I came upon this accident scene that was horrendous, and there was no one on scene at the time, medical or police-wise, just a couple of bystanders. So I pulled up on it to render first aid to people I could help, and I parked away from the accident. As running closer, I noticed a red, mangled vehicle. I thought that might be my van, and as I got closer, I saw my daughter crawling on the ground and realized that was my family.
Wow. How old was your daughter?
My daughter is 12 years old.
She's 12 now.
Yeah, she survived. I mean, no, she was 12 at the accident. She's 14 now.
Okay. So this is only 2 years ago.
Yes.
And the other 2 people in the vehicle are no longer with us. That was your wife?
That's my wife, Catherine, and my son, John Henry V. He was 9 years old.
My goodness.
They made it to the hospital. Actually, JT made it 2.5 hours on his own before he had to go full life support.
Wow. Pretty brave of you to share that with us. And then you had this decision after the news that they wouldn't survive. How did you learn that their organs might be used by somebody?
Well, as a family, we've always talked about organ donation. In 2007, when my father passed away here in Ocala, he was an older gentleman, of course. He was on dialysis, so there wasn't many organs they could use, but they asked for his corneas and tissue, and my mom, being the old school Catholic, felt a little eerie about that. So I kind of talked her into it and said, it's a good thing, and he's definitely not going to need him where he's going. So she agreed finally and donated him. So somebody got eyesight from his, and what they used the tissue for, many different things. We don't know exactly where it went and how they used it, but it was a good thing. And so I always knew about organ donation.
So you didn't have to be persuaded?
They didn't even get to ask the question, to be honest with you. I already knew who they were when they were walking up.
You already knew who they were?
When you're in that situation in the hospital,
right?
What you don't know is beforehand that there are nurses and doctors. They know before they tell you. They want to be 100% sure. They ask people testing your loved one's blood, of course, to make sure.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And it's in a respectful way. You don't know about it. And then after the doctor breaks that news to you that your loved ones are brain dead, in the state of Florida, when you're brain dead, you're dead. So there's no coming out of it. And the nice people at TransLife come to you, and they do one of the toughest jobs there is out there, is to have to ask someone for their organs. But in this case, I didn't let them get the question out. I knew who they were when they were coming.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you. You're an amazing guy in so many ways, and some of those ways you don't want us to talk about right now, but I can't wait till the day when I can tell. So, all right. So, Kristine, this goes to you now.
Yes.
So you do have a very hard job. You have to speak to people who've just lost a loved one, and speak to somebody who's going to have a loved one saved at the same time.
Yes. So our organization, TransLife, are those people that are in the hospital. I personally actually get to work with the community more so than the hospital aspect of it, but our clinical coordinators work with our families in the hospital at the time of donation to help advocate for them in the hospitals and to facilitate the gift of life for those who have the opportunity to become an organ donor. So yes, it is a very difficult conversation, and families like Townsend's, some have had that conversation, others have not. And so my job as the public relations manager is to encourage people to have that conversation before they're faced with that decision in the hospital. So,
do you have wings? One of my favorite episodes of Touched by an Angel, that's what the angel's job was to do what you do, was to convince people. It's an amazing job. It's for me, I get to see the full circle, and so I know that the opportunity for donation gives families the knowledge that their loved one went on to make a difference in somebody's life. And so working with those families, I truly do. I can't say that I honestly, truly love my job. So, getting to work with families, our donor families. How long have you been doing it?
5 years.
5 years?
Yes.
Does it come naturally for you, that the ability to communicate these very important messages?
It comes in learning through my relationships with these families, getting to know their loved ones through them is an honor of mine. Getting to know who they were, and continuing to honor that legacy as we do throughout our different opportunities in the area. And so we have the ability to create a quilt square or come to our Remembrance Day or, a memory book and so many different ways to continue to honor their legacy is one of the greatest things that I get to do.
Yvette.
Yes.
How come you have a mask?
Oh, I wear my mask out.
That could be to prevent yourself from getting sick, or
because my immune system's a little bit lower.
Okay, I was just wondering. I hope it wasn't an uncomfortable question.
No.
I just thought there was something we needed to know. All right, so how are you doing?
Very, very well.
So 2 years ago.
Yes.
So it's been 2 years in April, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's been 2 years in a few months. So 2 years in April. 2 years ago in April, you were in the hospital?
No.
I was
No?
called. I was called. That I had been sick for 4 years.
Okay.
I've been on dialysis for 4 years.
Oh, so you needed kidneys?
Correct.
You needed 2 kidneys? One. Okay.
Yeah.
And you got your kidney from?
From JT.
From JT. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you received that news, what was the feeling?
I was about 2 hours south of Orlando, so it's kind of sort of like get up and go. They called me about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so you have to hurry and go get it?
You hurry and go get it.
Oh, wow.
You don't have time to think.
Oh, my goodness.
Pretty much get your stuff packed.
Did you drive yourself?
My dad drove with me.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
Yes.
So you're hurrying up and you're going to where the organ is.
Correct.
And when did you learn whose organ it was and where it was coming from?
You don't learn that at the time. That happened after Townsend he wrote a letter to all the recipients, and that's when I knew. And then I wrote back to him at that time, and then we met at the demolition derby.
So what did you write in the letters?
I wrote I've got a letter from the left kidney recipient, and I wrote her back a personal letter, and that.
Oh, she wrote you first.
The left kidney is a different girl. Yvette's the right kidney recipient, and in the letter I wrote a brief story about JT to JT's recipients, about me and my daughter, and about how we didn't want them to feel bad for us or be upset or have griever's remorse. Some people go through griever's remorse when they get a kidney and they find out a young kid passed away and they get to live. And then that's not what we're here for. That's not what it's about. I want them to feel great, move on with their lives, and be happy. So I wrote the letter, and I basically asked we have an event. We do demolition derbies around the southeastern United States with Knights of Destruction, and I asked,
Knights of Destruction.
Yes.
That's a cool name.
It is cool, and they're a great group of guys that have been with me. We've been doing demolition derbies before the accident. My son was involved, and they wanted to do something, and Yvette came up to honor my son at the event, and ever since, we were actually getting ready for a demolition during the race at April 10th when the accident happened. May 4th was our next race.
Oh, my goodness.
And they wanted to honor my son and my wife. And so from that point on, we've been doing demolition derbies with TransLife or South Point in Georgia or the many different organizations in the southeast United States, raising organ donation awareness and signing people up right there on the spot.
I have to take a little break, so we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. This is an amazing story. We will be right back with Townsend and Kristine, Neal, and Yvette Moreno, all three together for the same reason, because of two lives that were lost that are enabling other people to live through organ donations. Plus, we'll learn also about the golf classic that's coming up as well. We'll be right back.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Watch out for a thunderstorm this afternoon and this evening. Today's high 88 to 92. Later tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 72 to 76. Tomorrow, sunshine mixing with clouds. An afternoon or evening thunderstorm around, high 88 to 92. And on Wednesday, partly sunny with a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Come join New Mail Medical for their town hall at Golden Corral in the Villages on Wedgwood Lane, Tuesday, July 21st and Wednesday, July 22nd from 4 to 6 p.m. Join renowned expert Dr. Christopher Asandra and get your questions answered. He will be discussing the importance of hormonal replacements and common misconceptions for men and women, as well as the importance of sexual health and anti-aging. Now, dinner and refreshments will be provided for those in attendance, along with door raffles and giveaways. But seating is limited, so please call today to reserve your space at the Golden Corral in the Villages on Wedgwood Lane. Call today, 404-4779. That's 404-4779. One more time, 404-4779. And make plans to join New Mail Medical.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Really amazing story. John Townsend is in the studio. He lost his wife, Catherine, and his son, JT, in a car accident 2 years ago, and the organs were donated to different recipients. One of those recipients is in the studio. Yvette Moreno received a kidney and is alive because of that. Kristine, Neal is also in the studio. She's with TransLife, Organ and Tissue Donation Services, and there's also a golf tournament to help raise money that looks like it's named after another person who was an organ donor, Nick Orlick, I think, if I have that right. So real quickly, during the break, I mentioned that in the morning we speak to Galen Unold from Life South, and he always talks about donating blood and signing up for the bone marrow registry. And organ donation does come up every now and then, but obviously they don't do that at Life South. So how do we do that? There's a PSA that's on the air, and I'm only going to do this from memory, that I think it says that you can't just have it on your license. You have to tell somebody, right?
Actually, you can tell somebody, but by having it on your license or registering online at donatelifeflorida.org, that's the state of Florida is a first-person consent state. So when you register online or at the driver's license office, you're making that decision. And so we always encourage people to share those wishes with your family or your loved ones, so that if ever they are having that conversation in the hospital, that they're aware of those wishes and that they can honor those, and that they don't have to make that decision there in the hospital. So yes, the easiest way, it takes 3 minutes, is to do it online, donatelifeflorida.org. You can go on. Even if you've done it at the driver's license office, we still encourage people to sign online, make sure all of your information is correct, make sure that you can be specific with your wishes. So if you'd like to donate certain organs, certain tissues, some people have very specific wishes, and so you can do that online. You can also share your wishes with your loved ones by sending them an email, letting them know, hey, I just want to let you know I've made this decision. And so we always encourage people, just go online, check it out, and it takes 3 minutes. And you never have to worry about it again.
Do you know, the first time I donated blood, I was in my 40s.
Really?
I waited a long time. Robin did it when she was 17. And you know why I did it? Why I didn't do it? Because I was scared.
Right.
I could go through the fears, but I'll just tell you I was scared.
Sure.
The reason I changed my mind is because there was a child that needed blood. It was in the news. I doubt that the child got my blood, but I thought, you know what? I can help out somebody.
You can make a difference.
Great deal.
And this story that you're bringing to these airwaves today is going to do the same thing for me. I've never signed up to donate my organs, but I will now. And so, in essence, the tragedy that you experienced, John, is affecting me in a great way. I mean, Townsend, I'm sorry. So, you look like a rock star. You know who you look like? You look like, who's that guy that plays guitar? Oh, God. Do you play guitar?
No.
So Yvette's not an artist. You don't play guitar.
Not at all.
But you crash vehicles. You know what I said to him the other day in my office? I said, I bet you when you're in an actual wreck, it's no big deal to you because you're always wrecking vehicles.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You walk away. Has that ever happened? You just walked away and said, you guys okay? Because I'm fine.
Yeah, it's happened. Sometimes during the show, it's a little bit different. I got hit one time. I was at a dead stop, and somebody hit me at 70 miles an hour.
Oh.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a Big Jim Herb down there in Orlando. Cleaned my clock really well.
He cleaned your clock
very well. Got to walk away. That was an accident. That happens sometimes. We get a little Orlando.
I thought Demolition Derby was supposed to have accidents.
It does, but not at 70 miles an hour. Orlando gets a little crazy. It's the biggest show we have. It's a great place. We get to speak to close to 5,000 people.
How did you get involved in that? Can I ask? That's aside from the main topic today, but
buddy of mine asked, "Do you want to race?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Oh, wow.
You get to go crash a car, and I'm like,
do you wear a helmet? I mean,
of course we do.
Oh, you do?
We take
Okay.
safety precautions.
Okay, and do you have special harnesses or something?
We have seatbelts.
Are you an organ donor?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so tell me about the golf tournament.
Okay, it's the Nick Ulrich Golf Classic.
Ulrich, okay, thank you.
It's former Senator Ulrich. His son passed away 20 years ago, unfortunately. Him and his wife went through, just a rough time as well. And he actually died out of the country, and they had to go get him with a air ambulance, a plane.
Wow.
From Shands and fly him back, and he was brain dead, and they donated his organs. He touched many, many lives. It's truly an incredible story. I've actually got to speak with Senator Ulrich, and I was just so touched by his story that we could share. Just two different guys from two different worlds could sit and share about losing their son, and it helped me out a lot, and I think I helped him out as well. It's at the Legends Golf and Country Club on October 24th, 2015. That's down in Claremont. It's a little ways from here, but it's going to be a great time. We've got a lot of sponsors and prizes they're giving away, and it raises it raises organ donation awareness, and it also raises money for TransLife's organ donation awareness. And I'm on the chairman of the board, and I'm pushing for it to be a great event. And I'm hoping we fill the card that day.
All right. What do we need to know about that as far as cost and all that? Is it?
Actually, we're building a Facebook page for it right now, and when that comes out, you can go to
TransLife's website at translife.org, and then we will have links to the Facebook page as well as the registration page.
Can we help out if we're not golfing? Can we just make a donation?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure can.
You sure can. You can email Dee Wolford at our organization, and her email is Deidre.
Okay.
Wolford, WOOLFORD at translife.org. And you can sure help out and help raise awareness. Senator Ulrich actually came. He was the sheriff in Alachua, and then he represented actually this area as well in the House. And so we're happy to bring his story to Lake County, and we're looking forward to a fantastic event on the 24th of October.
And Kristine, are you there for emotional support for like Townsend's family? And then when Yvette had to receive the kidney, were you also there for her?
So yes, actually. Well, our program has a aftercare program that I oversee that works with our families after the time of donation. So when the family leaves the hospital, they don't walk out alone. We are there for them. We provide grief materials. We provide grief resources. We let them know there's an entire community that's available to them, and we give them different opportunities to join us and to have that relationship with our organization. And so we also so we have that for our donor families, and then we also have a volunteer base, and that's where we get to interact with the recipients. And so they come forward and they want to share their stories, and it's amazing to see so many people come forward and say, I'm here today because somebody said yes. And so our volunteer base is comprised of donor families. It's comprised of transplant recipients, and then people who are just passionate about the cause. So yes, we have support systems for both in place.
Yvette, how did your life change once you had the kidney? Before the kidney, were you always going to the what's it called? The
dialysis.
Dialysis, yeah.
I actually did dialysis at home. I didn't do it at a clinic.
Okay.
I did it at home. I did it 4 times a day at home. It was a little bit different.
So once you got the kidney, you no longer needed to do that?
No. The minute that I received it, I was just
Did you feel better?
Yes, absolutely. Dialysis is, it's a little fake on the system, so
it's a little.
It's fake, It's you have all the fluids coming in that are releasing the toxins for you. So, when the kidney comes in, it's much more natural in that aspect. So it's just you can eat free again, and there's just you can travel. There's so many things you can do once you're off the dialysis.
And how long were you on dialysis? How many years?
3.5 years.
3.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
And did you know from day one that you would have to receive a kidney in order to be completely fixed?
Yes.
Or was that not something? Like, do the doctors always know that you'll need a kidney, or did you have a kidney removed? Is that what happened?
No, I didn't have a kidney removed. I went into kidney failure a few years after my fiance passed away.
Oh my gosh, you've had your share of troubles.
Yeah. So he passed away, and then I went to kidney failure a few years later. The stress did that, and so then I ended up on dialysis.
Okay.
So it was a whole different story. But
and what do you do? What's your love? What do you love to do?
I love to travel.
You love to travel.
Nice.
I love to travel. So now I can travel because I'm not on dialysis anymore.
What's your bucket list destination?
I would say Australia.
Australia.
I'd say Australia.
Oh, good for you.
Wow. Can't go any farther than that, huh? Right. Townsend, you are an amazing man. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and you've inspired all of us to do great things. And thank you for sharing that with us. Plus, you're going to raise our antenna or something back there, I heard.
Yeah, we're going to do that next week. Thank you, guys.
Yvette Moreno,
Thank
you. And Kristine, Neal, thank you for what you do. You are beautiful. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The vote unanimous. The UN Security Council endorsing the Iran nuclear deal. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Samantha Power says the 2 years of talks were tough.
But the United States and our partners knew that we had a responsibility